the 5 most common misunderstandings about guitars and about the instrument, our relationship with the instrument. So this is 5 things here I have written, and the first one is that it's the same the guitar you play. It doesn't matter. It's the player what counts. If the player is good, then everything will be right. Well, guess what? That's not the case, because I will post in the description one video that my friend Carlos Sanchez sent me, and it's very inspiring one, because it's out of some musicians there, some young guys which are very poor, and they are making instruments literally out of garbage. With some pipe they make a flute, and then with a trash can they make a bass and all that. Right? You watch it there. It's a very inspiring thing, because it means music doesn't have a limit, right? Like, if you're in this condition, living as a pauper or something, then of course they have to do that. But some of them that now are promoted, thanks to God, to play in the Philharmonic Orchestra and that, and now they got a nice instrument, because they cannot be playing instruments made out of garbage eternally, right? So it means that there is choices made, emergency choice and ideal choices, right? Or ideal or something leading to ideal. Watch at the description some of the relevant links on this thing, because I will just talk very briefly, but the thing is that it's not the same which guitar you play, because the guitar is a transparent medium between you and the public. Therefore, if the instrument, for example, if the instrument doesn't tune well, how will it sound well because I play well? That doesn't make sense. We need a nice instrument, and then we need also to play properly. There are 4 possibilities. Nice player with nice guitar, nice player with bad guitar, and also bad player with good guitar, and bad player with bad guitar. There's 4 things. So the first one, good player with good guitar, that's what we are aspiring to do, right? Because someone may play well on a bad guitar, that doesn't mean that the ideal thing is to play on a bad guitar, because someone who plays well playing on a bad guitar well. It doesn't make sense. Okay, this is number 2, is that Cypress is the only alternative out there to play a female blanca guitar. And in fact, this cherry guitar is 20 times superior to any Cypress guitar. This is the updated thing of the avant-garde style in blanca female guitar. The substitute and replacing forever and for good for those who have a good ear and good hands and who like playability like me. The cherry instrument is much superior for any motive to the Cypress one. And this Cypress story I will also post at the description of this video. The second link will be that, because I explain each topic separately. Otherwise we will extend too much this. And this is just 5 misunderstandings. First thing is that the guitar you play is the same. It doesn't make any difference. You have to, if you play well anywhere. Well, that's not true. If a car driver, say for the Formula 1, is very good, but the car is a bad car, how will you do a good performance? That doesn't make sense. So it has to be both things. The car has to be good and also the driver. Well, the second one is that the Cypress is the only option. Well, guess what? No, that's not the case. Because we are acclimatized to obsolete guitars, that doesn't mean that there cannot be other options. And in fact, the cherry one is one out of many of the maple guitar. The east west or east satin wood guitar. Many options there for female sound. And then the third one is that the only option out there for negra is the Indian rosewood. And that's also not true, because this Bahia rosewood is so much better than any other kind of guitar made out of Indian rosewood, which is much of a classic tone out there. Bahia rosewood or Indian rosewood is the only option? No. Indian rosewood is a classic wood, and this is superior for sure. Not just visually, but it is, because Brazilian rosewood doesn't matter This is Bahia rosewood in this case, but it may be also Amazon rosewood, which, by the way, all these rosewoods, Rio rosewood, Kingwood rosewood, Jacaranda rosewood, are of the same category, even if they don't look same, but the sound is similar, although weights are different and it's light from lighter to weighter one. I will post in the description also the different qualities of its dried, the average dried weight of each wood. You can watch in the description. So this is about the Negra. So the Negra, there is much better options, and of course this with the Norway top, also watch in the description, because I made specific videos for each topic. But these ones are very common misunderstanding. So of course a guitar like this is out of the box, and so we are. And all our friends who aspire to have a different thing, and differentiation for me and for them, and probably for you, is the major asset. I'm playing on feeling and on playability also, but it means that the tone of the Brazilian rosewood, of this style of Brazilian rosewood age, is very much superior to the Indian rosewood, of the same tone. The cliché guitar, Negra. Right? This is the evolution. Watch the evolution of the Negra concept after Paco de Lucia's, right? Epoch. Like now we are in the post-Paco de Lucia's period, so things have to evolve, and evolve for good and for better. So watch that. I explain also that in detail. Then the fourth misunderstanding is that you can play any guitar and you just adapt to it, you adjust yourself to it, and one day everything will be good. That's not the case. If the shoes is uncomfortable to, a pair of shoes are not comfortable to wear, and then the shoe is supposed to be made for your foot, not the opposite, not that the foot will adapt to the shoe. That doesn't make sense. If a guitar is not playable and good from day one, it will not become playable because you adjust to bad measurements, to unevenness and stuff. And I will also post about guidelines to flaws and measurements, this kind of stuff. So you watch that, because it's a very specific topic, but you cannot just be molded to, of course you can do it, but that's not the ideal thing again, right? That you can adapt to a bad high action guitar or something which is not good. That doesn't mean that this is the ideal thing. The guitar has to be made for your hands, not your hands made for the guitar. That's the difference. So, and the fifth one is that sound in a guitar is the first thing. They said, it sounds good. Well, guess what? Sound doesn't come from the guitar. Sound comes from you, through the guitar. And because sound comes from you, it all depends on playability. 90% of the thing on playability, and 10% on the wood of the guitar. But playability of the instrument, there are two kinds. One is out of fluke, which means like when I was young, 20 years ago, we went there to Madrid and then choose one guitar from any luthier. Okay, take this, take that. We tried 30 guitars, right? And then we said, well, out of 30, this one and this here, let's say 2, were more or less playable, but of course we have to fix this and fix that and refret it and fill the holes of the bridge and then redo it. But we took for granted that was the way it is, and that was a mistake, right? And then that is the old misconception of the setting in which you have to fix everything. Why the instrument cannot be good from day one? Just open the case, play, and that's it. Why you have to fix 20 things? Well, we didn't know it 25 years ago. But now we know it thanks to AG. That's why I love these people, because they make it as for us, not what they want to do, but what we need. And therefore, this stuff that the sound is good, it sounds great. No, the sound is not the most important thing in a guitar, it's playability, because the sound doesn't come from the guitar, it comes from you playing it and flowing it there. And therefore, there is, I will post that link, that playability is everything. You need to watch that, because there I explain it in detail, this thing about playability. It means that the first characteristic, of course, tuning has to be there, and also quality of sound, but the quality of sound is totally inner and very deeply related to the playability that the instrument has. It means if you can, either if you can flow it there, or if it presents you obstacles all the time. And therefore playability is the all in all. It's not an option to have a what is playability? Just think, play and ability means that it's playable, easy to play. It's easy to play stuff, That's also a thing to study, because if you are used again to an uncomfortable pair of shoes, right? I can be used to be chained or locked in 1-2 meters room, right? But that doesn't mean, yeah, maybe I think I'm happy there because I don't know anything else, but playability, freedom, and flowing there is something that you have to experience yourself, and therefore there are some aspects of this which are subjective, but most of it is just objective, because with the guitar that doesn't tune or have wrong measurements, that's a question of saying it sounds good. The sound good thing, if a guitar sounds good but it's difficult to play, then it's useless to me, right? And probably to you also. Okay, this is the 5 major misunderstandings related to guitars. This series we will do 5 by 5 because there are many things which are taken as facts, which are not facts. So this will be a lot of fun, and we will cultivate our knowledge on guitar for everyone who is interested in the magazine. And thank you for all the friends who are asking questions, interesting questions, and learning to have experimenting, to experience and to have the direct experience of playing and of the freedom that music gives you. That's what I think. Okay, thank you, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you.